Hey everybody, Brenda Grisham has sent an email now approximately 40 minutes ago entitled Recall Certification Accepted by the Supervisors. And it goes on to read like this. Save Alameda for everyone, and the people of Alameda County thank you. Your emails, calls to the Board of Supervisors, and joining our rallies were important steps to keep the pressure on the Board of Supervisors to do the following. 1. Accept the recall certification at the April 30th, 2024 meeting. And at that meeting, they, 2, scheduled a meeting set for May 14th of this year, 2024, to set a recall election date. She adds that getting a recall election date on the ballot, or recall on the ballot, I should say, is not easy, and this effort was no different. She goes on to write that they could not have done this without the support of the community. The email continues with photographs from the rally and a what's next. What's next reads like this. 1. Recall election date. The Board of Supervisors set a meeting for May 14th, 2024 at 3 p.m. to schedule a recall election date. They will choose either of the following. A. Special election date in late August or early September. B. Consolidate with the November 5th, 2024 general election. Then she goes on to explain that they will need your support on May 14th to ensure the Board of Supervisors sets a date. Then Brenda writes that they will have updates in the coming weeks. Then she goes on to explain that they will need to raise more money to run the recall campaign. She doesn't give the cost here. She goes on to write that they're already planning and will be kicking off the campaign as soon as the recall date is set. And she asked that you please consider donating to the campaign. And you can go to do so at recallpamelaprice.org. Now, what happens if the recall election is successful? First, Brenda writes, we are confident we will be successful at recalling Pamela Price. 2, Pamela Price is immediately removed from office. A DA deputy takes over until a new district attorney is appointed by the Board of Supervisors of Alameda County. The Board of Supervisors will evaluate and appoint a new DA that will serve for 2 years until December of the year 2026. 4, an election for a new district attorney will be held November 2026, and they will hold office from January 2027 until December 2028. Now, then she addresses some claims that have been launched by the Price campaign against this effort. For example, the claim that is an undemocratic recall. Brenda writes that Pamela Price has a, quote, habit, unquote, of making unsubstantiated accusations. Brenda goes on to write that recall is in the power of the voters to remove an elected officer, and recalls are specifically permitted in the California Constitution, Article 2, Sections 13 through 19, Elections Code 11,000. And she has an area you can read more about it at elections.cdn.sos.ca.gov/recalls/recall procedures guide PDF. Now, Brenda says that DA Price has claimed that this recall election is illegal. Pamela Price and her attorneys, Brenda writes, are claiming that unconstitutional portions of the county charter should be followed. If the county followed the unconstitutional portions of the charter, Pam's attorneys would be arguing that the recall is unconstitutional. SAFE assures our supporters that we follow exactly the rules and directions that were provided to us by the county and registrar of voters, Brenda writes. She goes on to say this, or write this. We had numerous conversations, Brenda writes, directly with the Registrar of Voters, that's Tim Dupuy, who heads it, to clarify directions, dates, and procedures to ensure we complied with all aspects of the recall. Now, DA Price is also claiming violations with respect to the California Federal Political Practices Commission Act. Now, Pamela writes that any individual can submit allegations of violations to the Federal Political Practices Commission, which can then diligently evaluate diligently evaluates and investigates each claim. Since its inception in 2023 of August, SAFE has proactively engaged the foremost treasurer and financial reporting organizations in California. Furthermore, SAFE has sought legal counsel from a distinguished election attorney in the state. Maintaining an impeccable reputation is paramount for any organization undertaking a public office recall, and SAFE proudly upholds the standard. The email ends with SAFE looks forward to collaborating with the residents of Alameda County to successfully recall Pamela Price and bring safety back to our families. So that's the latest news right there. Now, how does this impact the effort to recall Oakland Mayor Sheng Tao? Well, it makes the possibility that it will happen more realistic. I understand the signature gathering is still continuing at pace. The mayor has countered with a use of the media to trumpet, for example, the idea that crime has reduced by 33% since last year. She got the Chronicle to put that news out there. But the problem is that it's only certain types of crime. And there's still, as one person on Twitter wrote, a situation where it went from an extraordinary amount of crime to a lot of crime. That's where that sits. So subscribe to Zenny62 on YouTube for more updates and interviews with Brenda Grisham and others. I have invited DA Pamela Price to come on and explain her side of the story. Her campaign has never, although I will be candid, their campaign has been quite cordial to me, but they haven't made her available for an interview. Subscribe to Zenny62 on YouTube. Thank you.